grateful for everything and everyone. And we want to welcome our dear friend Charley Thweatt here from Connecticut, right, Charley?
That's right. I'm a Texan living in Connecticut.
There you go. And we are really grateful you're taking the time to be with us and share your words, your music, your deep spirit. We've been connected for many years. And,
We have.
And it's been way too long. So here we are this morning. And those of you who are tuning in from wherever you're tuning in this morning, live or perhaps later on playback, please know that our prayer is that our words, our thoughts, our music, our prayers, our silences serve you in your path of spirit.
Yes. So we're going to begin this morning with our song, Come Celebrate, and we'll bring Charley back in a moment for his words and wisdom and music. Thank you.
Great being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate, one by one, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. Come celebrate, join in a circle, come celebrate, side by side, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. Celebrate, celebrate, come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, yes, celebrate, celebrate, come celebrate, come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate. Heart open wide, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. We are one. We are one.
And now I invite you to join us in our honoring of the four directions, as we physically, if we're able to turn and face the four directions, as we chant, we sing, we breathe into and out with, O great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. We'll sing that once for each of the four directions as we honor Mother Earth, this place we are so blessed to call home. And then we'll sing it a fifth time for that divine within each one of us. So won't you join us as we begin by facing to the east, the direction of the rising sun, of new beginnings, of infinite possibilities. Together.
Great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
And then we turn and face the south, the direction of the noonday sun, of abundance, of well-being.
Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
And now we turn to the west as we open to the direction of the setting sun, of letting go of the past, of opening to the mystery of what comes next.
Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
And then we face into the north. We face into the direction of midnight, into the darkness, into the challenges that are always present, that are calling us constantly to stand firm in this present moment, to the north.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me.
And then we turn within. We turn to the realm of the spirit, to the divine, to the infinite now that is unfolding within and around us.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. Oh, great spirit, oh, Holy One, oh, Holy Wonder.
Together, we join together. And in our oneness, we affirm the power of all of creation, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the ones that swim and crawl with rocks, trees, and grasses, with the seas, the skies, the stars, the oceans, the seas, the universe, with all of life. We affirm our oneness. We affirm we are one. Together, we are one. And once again, we are one.
From this place of opening, we feel the power of simply being present with what is now, and now, and now. May all beings be blessed by our willingness to do this. Amen.
Amen. So today's poem is by Wendell Berry. It's a
One
favorite.
of my favorites.
Yes. The Peace of Wild Things. I think we could all maybe feel a little bit of this now. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the middle of the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, where the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the stillness. I come into the presence of still water. And I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting for their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. So now we take this time to breathe together, to have this physical manifestation of our metaphysical oneness as we consciously breathe together, remembering that we are all really breathing in the same air. And we'll take 4 long, deep communal breaths together. And as we inhale, I invite you not to just breathe in, but to fully digest this air, this breath that you're taking. And as you release, to fully let it go, to release anything that no longer serves you. Let go of the past so that we can be more fully present in this precious moment right here, right now, together. So we'll inhale 4 times, inhaling at the sound of the bowl. And then we'll exhale and then inhale again 4 times. Together, inhale. Exhale. Sitting in the silence, in the breath, we remember truly we are one.
And into this place of oneness, we welcome our friend Charley, a troubadour who's been traveling the path of spirit consciously across the nation and throughout Europe for decades now. We've been walking alongside each other in a good way, and many of his chants have come into the lexicon and the New Thought world, and we're so delighted to have you back with us this morning, Charley Thweatt.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Zet and Rudy, and everyone who's a part of this community. And I have to muse just a moment before I start that when I was listening to the poem about where the wild herons feed, I can think of one place. I was hearing that happen in your backyard for a while, Zet and Rudy, so that was fun. Anyway, well, I want to start with a little meditative song and kind of carry on with this beautiful energy that we're in right now. And so this is one where I can invite you to close your eyes, and it's really 7 simple words, a simple little chant. Be still and know, I am God. And for me, this is coming to that place of stillness, remembering the I am that lives inside of us, and to really just know that place. So we'll sing it a little bit, fade into silence, have a little bit more silence, and just enjoy that place. And maybe I'll say a few words to finish a kind of another meditative segment. So let's close our eyes. Be still and know, I am God. Be still and know, I am God. Be still and know, I am God. Add your voice. Be still and know, I am God. Be still and know, I am God. Sing a harmony if you want to. Be still and know, I am God. Be still and know, I am God. Be still and know, I am God. Be still and know 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 I am God. And let's take a deep breath in. Be still and know. Know the I am presence that always lives in us. Know this deep well of peace that always lives in you. Remember who you are as spirit. And as spirit, you always have this deep well of peace, this deep well of stillness right at the center of you. And you bring that stillness and that peace with you wherever you go. Whatever you see in your world, you see from a place of peace. And you bring that peace to everything you see. And it really doesn't matter so much what you're looking at as where you're looking from. It doesn't matter so much what you're looking at in your life as where you're looking from. And you look from peace, from stillness. Be still and know the I am that's always in you. You are spirit. You bring that presence in every situation. Be still and know the God within. Tell me stories of the many glories that you've got yourself into, and what you're finding out on the horizon in the sky of blue. You can call me if you fall for the lies that people throw at you, 'cause you're much greater than any hater when you could come right home to what is true. So why don't you? Will you find it there? In so many places, wherever you go, will you find it there? In all of your searching, just what do you know? Tell me stories of the many glories. Life is streaming all the while you're dreaming of some castles in the air. Does your insisting mean that you are missing all the love that's waiting there? You can call me if you fall for the lies that people throw at you, 'cause you're much greater than any hater when you could come right home to what is true. So why don't you? Will you find it there? In so many places, wherever you go, will you find it there? In all of your searching, just what do you know? Will you find it there? In so many faces, wherever you'll be, will you find it there? In all of your seeking, just what do you see? Tell me stories, tell me stories of the many glories. Of the many glories, tell me stories, tell me stories of the many glories, of the many glories, tell me stories of the many glories that you got yourself into. All right. This is a fun and different way to do church these days, isn't it? So here we are in Zoom world, and what is it? BeLive.tv world. Well, thanks for having me again, and I'm so grateful to be invited to be here with you this morning. My talk is called Flow, Flow, Flow Your Boat, and the subtitle, Trust is Not a Dream. So flow, flow, flow your boat, trust is not a dream. And I always like to start off a talk with a joke, so I have a little joke for you. And it could be that Rudy and Zet will especially enjoy this. So this is about two guys. It's a Sunday afternoon, and they're looking for something to do. And one of them has this little, small plane. And so they decide they're going to go out on their plane, out over the ocean for an hour, just kind of enjoy the Sunday afternoon. And they've been out about half an hour or so, and they're pretty far out to sea, and suddenly they have engine trouble. And so they try to call on the radio for help, and they realize the radio is not working, and they manage to make an emergency landing on a little island out in the middle of nowhere. And one of the guys is really nervous about the whole thing, and the other guy's unusually calm. So the first guy says, "Oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? No one knows we're here. The radio's broken." And the other fellow says, "Well, just relax. I'm sure it's all going to be fine. Just trust. I know it's going to work out." "Well, what do you mean? We have no food. We have no water." "Well, just relax. Just trust. Something you may not know about me is that back home, my investments are doing really well. In fact, I'm bringing in $10,000 a week." "Who cares? We need food. We need water. What are you talking about?" He says, "Well, just listen. I'm bringing in $10,000 a week, and I tithe 10% of that to my church, and I know my minister will find me." So trust. I want to tell you a story that's happened to me, and this also involves an airplane. I do a lot of travel with my work. I've been doing this work for 38, coming on 39 years, touring all around the country and beyond. And I've been blessed to get to go to Italy many, many times to sing for conferences and retreats. And then I've begun leading my own tours of Italy. And I was singing for a 4-day event on an island off the coast of Sicily. And I'd done that many times already at this point. And it came time to settle up with the organizer afterwards. And I always submitted my miscellaneous expenses as well as her paying airfare and everything. So this particular time it was $90 and these miscellaneous expenses. I submitted it to the organizer, and she said, "Well, we're not going to pay it this time." And my first thought was, well, that doesn't feel fair. And my heart kind of went, had a little kind of glitch in it, but I didn't say anything. I just, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. And I also heard this voice in my head, and it said, "Just let it go. Let it go. There's a bigger plan afoot. You're always covered. Just let it go." So I did. I kind of took a deep breath and thanked her and went on my merry way. And, if you had found $90 on the sidewalk, you'd be pretty happy, but let $90 go, oh well. And so I had to do two short flight and a long flight to get home after this gig. And so short flight from Sicily to Rome, and then a longer flight, Rome back to the States. Now, I've flown so much with American Airlines. At this point, it came to where they were giving me all these free upgrades to business class on these 9-hour flights overseas, which is a really nice thing to have a cushy seat for the big, long transatlantic flights. So, and I knew I already had one of those reserved for me from Rome back to the States. So I do the short flight to Rome, change terminals, get over, stand in line to get on the flight back home. And it seems very crowded. It's kind of chaotic at the gate in Rome, and I'm like sixth person in line, but still 45 minutes before my departure, so I should be in good shape. And so 10 minutes passes, and the line hasn't moved, and I'm still sixth in line, and another 10 minutes passes. Now I'm fifth in line. This is taking forever. Finally, at the time of departure, it's my turn up at the gate, and the gate agent tells me, "Well, I'm sorry, sir, but your business class seat is no longer available." And again, my heart, I kind of go, "Oh, okay. There's no way." She says, "No, I'm sorry, it's gone, because you're late." Well, I wasn't late, but so she said, "However, if you must fly on a business class seat, there might be one on tomorrow's flight or the day after that." I'm not going to wait around for 2 or 3 days for a nice seat. But the thing she says, "However, if you'd be willing to fly on this flight, we do have a seat for you in coach. It's an aisle seat. And if you'd be willing to take this instead of a business class seat, American Airlines would be happy to compensate you by giving you flight vouchers for future flights on American Airlines in the amount of $3,000. And so I kind of looked down at my feet and shuffled for a second. I looked up and said, "Well, I guess that would be okay." And $3,000, yes, please. And so I got on the flight. It was fine, coach is fine. And as I sat in my seat about an hour into the flight, I realized, oh my God, do you see what happened? Earlier in the day, I heard a voice that said, let go of that $90. You're always covered. There's a bigger plan afoot. A few hours later, the universe plops $3,000 in my lap. $3,000 worth of flights that I can use for really what I came here to do, to get around and see groups around the country and share my music and my talks and my workshops. Isn't that a beautiful miracle? And I wonder if I had fought that $90 thing, would the other thing have happened? If you're squeezing like a garden hose, you're squeezing the garden hose of energy and stopping the flow, maybe things like that won't happen downstream. But I just let it go. I heard the voice said, let it go. There's a bigger plan afoot. You're always covered. And what a beautiful way that the support from the universe showed up. It came to support my mission here on earth, what it is I've come to do. There's a bigger plan afoot. This is true for me. That's true for you. I used to travel with a wonderful friend named Alan Cohen. Maybe some of you have heard of him. He's a wonderful author. Years ago, he wrote The Dragon Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And he's always writing a book every year or two. He has a fairly recent one called A Course in Miracles Made Easy. But anyway, he and I toured together for 7 years around the country in the late 80s, early 90s. And I remember from the stage once, he invited the audience. So I know we're not in the same room together, but do this if you will. Take your finger and kind of curl it up so you're looking through a little pinprick hole and look around the room that you're in. And what Alan said was, of all the things happening in life, this is about how much you're actually aware of. And then he said, let your hand unfurl. And he says, and this is now what you see, this is what God is aware of. So the difference between this little pinprick versus everything. And the little joke we play on ourselves is that we're busy trying to control our lives, to control the universe based on this much information. Is that true for you? Do you do that sometimes? We can't possibly know everything that's going on, but we're busy trying to control it all. And then he invited everyone in the audience to solemnly swear, we're ready to resign our position as general manager of the universe based on this much information. Are you ready to resign your role as general manager of the universe based on this much information? Yeah, we need to step into trust. Trust would settle. There's a great quote in A Course in Miracles. Trust would settle every problem now. Trust would settle every problem now. If we would just step into trust, it wouldn't be a problem. And that's really the key to that phrase. If you're trusting, it's not a problem. When we let go of that worry and doubt and angst, can we just breathe and know there's a bigger plan afoot? You're always covered. You can't possibly know everything that's going on, and step into trust. Trust. Let's say that together. I know I can't hear you, but let's say it together. It goes like this. Trust would settle every problem now. Together. Trust would settle every problem now. And again, I've been saying that phrase for many years. It was really just about 2 years ago it dawned on me. Yeah, because if you did trust, it wouldn't be a problem. So take that to the bank. Put that on your mirror at home. I wrote a song many years ago. It's called In Time. And the lyrics kind of speak to this as well. They go, in time, we see the working out. And we find that there's peace there. So I'm going to say that again. In time, we see the working out. And we find that there's peace there. So this really, think of some problem you had like 5 years ago, some giant mess. And when you're in the middle of it, you didn't see, how is this going to play out? What is this about? How is this going to work? But then as time went on, you see, oh, this step led to that step, which led to that step. You see why this kind of had to happen. And it resolves itself in peace. So the idea is now take that principle and apply it to whatever mess you're in this week. And no, it's finding its way. In time, we see the working out. And we find there's peace there. So why not claim your peace now, knowing somehow this is going to play out? We don't need to figure it all out. We don't need to guide the whole process. I have a friend. I kind of came into New Thought spirituality in Houston, where I grew up, and attended a big Unity church there. And I had a dear friend at that church named Springborn. And he was one of these kind of Renaissance men, into all the arts, into brain research, music, architecture, all these things. And he was a really amazing soul. And I remember once we were chatting, and he said to me, Charley, you know what I love doing? I love putting myself out on the leading edge of my ignorance. Isn't that a great line? I love putting myself out on the leading edge of my ignorance. Now ignorance is not stupidity. It's just what we don't know yet. So out on that edge of what I don't know yet, out on that frontier, on that boundary. And to me, that's beautiful, because that says he's always stretching, always growing into the adventure of life. And if we're always just doing what we've always done and kind of staying in this little close circle of what's safe, where's the adventure in that? Where's the awakeness? It requires trust to go out on the leading edge of your ignorance, to go out to the area you don't know yet. Let's step into trust. Let's get out on the adventure, on the edges of our life. Do something new. How can you stretch this week? And I know this is an interesting world we're living in. This world is stretching us. And it's really begging us to step into trust in this great unknown we're living through right now. Let's keep being on the edge, being willing to step into trust, being willing to not know all the answers, and still be at peace in it. Isn't that really the invitation? Trust would settle every problem now. There's another Course in Miracles quote, I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I'll say that again. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because God, Spirit, who sent me, will direct me. And often we're called into situations where we don't know how it's going to work out, how it's going to play out. Maybe a friend calls and says, can you come over and help? Or there's a difficult medical situation or something. And we may join in to help that person, not knowing how am I going to help? What am I going to say? And it's an invitation to trust that it will be given. I can step into the void. Really, the real call is just show up. The invitation is show up and know somehow it will be given what to do. I'm quoting a lot of people. I have a friend who's a naturopath who she said something to me about 10 years ago. It changed my life. And that is, and this was more of a physical level. She said, the body loves circulation. The body loves circulation. And that one line got me walking on a regular basis. It just makes so much simple sense to keep healthy. Let's keep the juices flowing. Let's circulate all the systems. Let's, move things through. But it's also true that our relationships need circulation. And sometimes that takes a little bit of trust, doesn't it? One of the things, that happens to me when I've had the flu in the past is I will get a fever, and what I do is I will gravitate to a cold tile floor in the bathroom. Like I just need to cool down. You'll see me hugging the floor. And sometimes when I'm lying down there, my body it really just wants to vomit. Now forgive me for saying this on a Sunday morning, but this is life. And I'm lying there on the floor and my body's saying, please let me vomit. However, my personality does not want to do that. I don't want to go through that. My body's saying, please no, if I could just get through this without having to go through that experience. And if I would just let it go, if I would just let my body move that out, I feel so much better. But a part of me just wants to hang on. And I think that's true in our relationships too. Have you ever had a situation where you're in partnership and there's some issue between the two of you, And if you're like me, sometimes in the past, I've been a real don't rock the boat kind of person. Like if I can just get around this issue without having to talk about it. Do you know that one? If we could just not talk about it, maybe it'll go away. It's kind of like me lying on the floor, like if my body wants to release it, but I don't want to. I don't want to go through that. And here's where trust comes in. In your relationship, here's the question. Can you trust that your love is greater than any issue that would come up? And hopefully the answer is yes. Step into trust that your love is greater than whatever issue comes up. And you can move that through and not be walking around it trying to pretend like nothing's happening, the elephant in the room. Trust would settle every problem now. What if you just could clear the space, clear the energy, and then there's that space for love? Trust would settle every problem now. I want to close with something I heard a minister in California say once. I was there singing, and he was giving the talk. And he did kind of a confession from the stage. He said, and those were his words, he said, "Listen, congregation, there's something I have to confess to you." He said, "Really, every Sunday, I'm giving the same talk. I just have to think of a different way to say it, so you'll think it's a different talk. But really, every Sunday, I'm saying three things. Everything is God. This includes you. Act accordingly." Isn't that beautiful? Everything is God. This includes you. Act accordingly. Let's claim that for ourselves. Can we say those as I statements? So everything is God. This includes me, and I act accordingly. Say that with me. Everything is God. This includes me, and I act accordingly. One more time. Everything is God. This includes me, and I act accordingly. And as we step into that consciousness that everything is God, and this includes me, then how does trust fit into that? Because if we really truly step into that God awareness, that higher place of union instead of this lower world of duality, trust is built in. It's innate in that kind of awareness. It's not even really required because we're not lost in this world of things coming apart and needing to be solved. We're living in a place of knowing that all is well, there's a greater plan afoot, and you're always covered. And from that place, we can always flow our boats, knowing trust is not a dream. And so it is. And I've been asked to close with a song, so this song applies. This is called "Letting It Fly." And the lyrics are open up with "Letting it go, letting it fly. How can you know if you'll laugh or cry? You jump in the river of life. So now you're a swimmer. It's in your eyes." So letting it go, letting it fly. How can you know if you laugh or cry? You jump in the river of life. So now you're a swimmer. It's in your eyes. With your arms open wide, you are shining inside, and you look with the eyes of your soul. It's a choice that you make with each breath that you take, and it's all for the sake of your soul. When you were younger, your head in the clouds, did you ever wonder how things would play out? Now that you're older and so much you've done, Does it ever feel like you've just begun? With your arms open wide, you are shining inside, and you look with the eyes of your soul. It's a choice that you make with each breath that you take, and it's all for the sake of your soul. Letting it go, letting it fly. Well, thank you, and I'll hand it back over to Zet and Rudy.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Reminder of things we all know and tend to forget.
That's what this is for. We all know it. We just need reminders.
Thanks for being the reminder today.
You did it.
Beautiful.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So we'll see you back here in a moment.
Okay.
We're going to.
Grateful for Charlie. We're grateful for you. We're grateful for all the gifts in our lives, which is why we sing together. In all things, give thanks. In all things, give thanks. In all things, give thanks. 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 In all things, give thanks. Won't you sing that with us? In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. 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 In all things give thanks. Give thanks for the gifts of life. The one light shines through all of creation, with hands and hearts open wide. We lift our voices in celebration. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. 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 In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks.
So we hold up our offering basket and we feel your love and support of the work of the Celebration Circle and your donations that you can send through our website. There's a PayPal link, a Venmo. We'll have Zelle soon, but many ways to give, right? You can mail a check the old-fashioned way. I know some of you like doing that part. So we're grateful for your donations, for your support, for your love. And we also hold up the names and the situations in the prayer circle, knowing that we're not trying to fix anyone. We're holding each and every one up into the light of love. And so if you have a name or a situation you want to share, please email it or post it here in the comments on Facebook, and we will send that out to our mighty, mighty prayer circle.
This is a really powerful resource. So please, if you or a loved one are facing challenging times, avail yourself of the powerful support available to you.
And just a few things. I'm going to invite Charlie in a moment to talk about, he has a vision workshop tonight, and I'll let him say more about that. And then he has a Zoom concert in December I think it's the 19th or the 16th.
16th.
Well, I think, anyway, he'll tell you. And then next Sunday, Rudy is going to speak on In All Things Give Thanks. You want to say a little bit about that?
just the power of radical gratitude, radical in the sense of root being grounded in gratitude. And I've got some particular practical practices to share with you. And we'll also be joined by another very gifted songwriter, Bill Nash, who has an amazing story to tell you about his gratitude and what he's done with his life and the physical challenges that have faced him and his body. He's overcome them, and yeah, Bill Nash.
And a guitar wizard, I hear.
And a guitar wizard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's next Sunday, the 29th. So
As
we hope
practice gratitude together. Thanksgiving today
Thanksgiving
and every day.
and all week long. Thanksgiving. Thanks living.
Thanks, Lynn.
And just a reminder that Meditation Circle happens Wednesday nights from 7:30 to 8 online on Facebook. And this week it will be with Graham Whitley. And we just want to thank him for guiding Meditation Circle every other week for the past, gosh, I think it's been a year or so. And he and his wife, Kelsey, are moving back home to North Carolina in early December. So this will be his last Meditation Circle for a while, and then he'll pop up regularly every 6 weeks or so and share with us his meditation of the heart, open heart meditation. So we want to say thank you to Graham and send he and Kelsey our love and support as they transition back home. I think that's
Charley.
it. Let's bring Charley back and let him tell us about his workshop and concert. And also,
Hey
got
there.
a shop tonight, Charley. Oh,
Okay, well, tonight it'll be 6 p.m.
Hearing you.
Texas time. I'm doing a.
just a minute.
So-
I can't hear you.
Oh, testing.
Let's see.
Did you mute yourself?
Did I
Testing.
mute myself? No. Let me
Yeah.
refresh.
Refresh. Test. Test.
That.
1, 2, 3.
Ah!
I hear you.
Let me do this again.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
How's this?
Are you back?
Are
Am
you
I
back?
on? Am I on?
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well.
Let me just try. Okay. Now.
Testing.
Oh,
All right, let me mute and unmute. Let's see if that helps at all. It's not giving.
Oh, Chuck says he can hear just fine.
Okay.
Am I
So-
good now?
I think they can hear you fine on.
Okay. It's just you guys. Okay. Well, I hope you can read lips. Well, tonight is a workshop at 6 p.m. Texas time. And if you go to my website, musicangel.com, there'll be a button there to pre-register. It's called the Vision Workshop. And I did a.
Volume on that computer?
I'm hearing a lot of echo in the background.
Oh, you know what I did?
I'm doing I'm a certified transformational life coach, and I'll be sharing 3 principles I've learned in my training. And so it's just an hour. It's a fun time to interact with people. I'll have you in a little breakout room at one point with somebody else to chat. And it's really about just focusing on what dreams are you reaching for next and just how to support that. So it's free, and happy to share some of the things I've been learning as a coach. And that's tonight at 6 p.m. And again, go to musicangel.com, and there'll be a button there to pre-register for it. Then the other thing is on December 19th is my Zoom concert. I love to do a concert every 5 or 6 weeks. And I'm calling this one Breathing in Light. So we'll do some Christmassy music and some other things, just share some of my original music. So that's also, you'll see a way to get that on musicangel.com. There'll be a button to push and get some tickets for the Zoom concert. And I think I'm going to finish with a song. I've been invited to do one more song. And I think this really fits the theme of what we've been talking about today, too. That this is called Take Your Power Back. And it's not really about macho power or pushy power, but the power of coming back to center and aligning with who we are and just stepping into that place. Even what we spoke about with Be Still and Know, that centered place of peace and the stillness. So take your power back. Feel free to sing along in your kitchens and in your bedrooms. I know you remember there are times in your life when you've walked in a gentle state of grace, and all your problems and all your beliefs were erased by a sweet smile on your face. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back like you had it before. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back, and you'll have even more. You can't keep giving your own power away to anybody or thing that comes along. It's up to you now to do or say what it takes to keep your center strong. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back like you had it before. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back, and you'll have even more. Sing that with me. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back like you had it before. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back, and you'll have even more. Even more, even more. There's no use trying to get by it. You can't bypass this place in the road. Your mind will tell you you can live like this, but your heart can't, and it's about to explode. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back like you had it before. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back, and you'll have even more. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back like you had it before. Take your power back that you've been given, get it back, and you'll have even more, have even more, have even more. Thanks so much, guys. Hope to see you soon.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
We don't know what switch got flipped, but we're grateful. I could hear you on Facebook, and everybody heard you. So that's what counts.
More than that, we heard your heart and your bright spirit shining through.
Beautiful.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Ciao.
So blessings on your continued work tonight at your workshop, your concert in a few weeks, and every day. Keep shining, keep being that angel of light you are.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Grateful.
Bye, everybody.
Have a wonderful season, wonderful holiday.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So we're going to join together in our closing song. Love is the only power. Love is the only way to watch our circle grow. I hope you'll join us in singing. together.
Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow. Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow.
Joining hands across the universe.
May you go in peace. May you grow in peace.
Remember always, we love you, we bless you, we see the light
in you.
And we'll see you next Sunday back here with this guy and Bill
And this
Nash.
woman and Bill Nash and you. Goodbye for now. Hello,
Hello
forever.
forever.